All right, so I ordered 200 pounds of Petite Sirah grapes, and I got 7 of these 5-gallon pails. We got 4 there and 3 here. So we're going to go ahead and open these things up and pour them in the fermenter and get them ready. Right now they're somewhat frozen. I was expecting fresh grapes, but they sent me frozen ones instead, which is fine. I went through and checked the Brix on them, and they were, one was 29.6, but most of them were 23.7 to 24.6, which is good, what we want on the sugar level. So once we thaw them out, though, we'll recheck the sugar level and see what we got. All right, so we got all 7 pails, all 35 gallons of must put into the 5-gallon, or the 55-gallon drum here. So we're going to go ahead and let this warm up, because right now it's like 30 degrees, so it's too cold to pitch any yeast in it. I will add some enzymes to it to help extract some color and tannins and stuff out of it. We'll let that sit overnight, and then we'll check on the temperature again tomorrow and see if we can get ready to pitch the yeast soon. So we'll check back later. All right, so here we are, day 2. So the must had a chance to sit overnight with some enzyme in it, kind of warming up, because it was around 26 degrees when I got it, frozen solid. So we're going to do a little testing now on some things just to check the Brix and everything. So first I'm going to do a Brix test on this. This spoon has been sanitized. I sprayed it with some sanitizer. But the Brix on this right now, after sitting for the night, 24.2, so that's good. So now we're going to check the pH on it. So I have my trusty pH meter here, and we're going to see what the acidity is of it, because you always want to check the acidity of wine, because the more acidic it is, the more tart your taste you're going to get. So you want to kind of make sure it's going to be balanced and not like super tart. And then also it needs to have the right pH for fermentation. So we're going to go ahead and put our pH meter in here and see. We want it around 3.3 to 3.4 or something. So we'll see what we get as a pH on this. Okay, so the pH is 3.45, which is really good. So by the time this ferments and stuff, the pH should go up a little bit, or should go down maybe a little bit, but then it'll go up during malolactic fermentation. So it should end hopefully like around 3.6, which is perfect. So 3.45, 3.46, that's really good. So I'm happy with those numbers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead inside and we're going to make the starter and get ready for pitching the yeast. All right, so we got a good yeast fermentation going. See all the bubbles on the top? So this is going to be a really good vigorous fermentation going on in here. So this should get the fermentation happening quick. So let's go pitch the yeast and we'll show you what that's all about. All right, so here's where the must is. So we'll go ahead and unwrap this a little bit just so we can put the yeast in it. Put this cheesecloth over here to keep the bugs out. So we're going to go ahead and add the yeast to this. This is 35 pounds of Petite Sirah grapes. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it right around the edge here. Since it's nice and warm around this edge, it'll work its way out. You can see it's already working its way towards the middle. Okay, so there we go. Yeast is added. So we'll go ahead and check on it tomorrow morning to see what the cap's like. Hopefully we'll have a good cap and then fermentation will be started. We'll check in then. All right, so here we are. It's the morning, and see if we get a fermentation going. Pretty sure we do. And let's get, we're going to punch down the cap. So let's show you what we got here. I got this covered with cheesecloth. It flies out. Yeah, we got a good cap going. So we'll go ahead and push the cap down. Oh, it smells wonderful. Look at the purple color we're getting from the grape skins. It's amazing. I'm going to lift this up some more. Look at that purple color. Beautiful. Punch this cap down, get it wet, keep it from drying out. Do this 2 or 3 times a day. Some carbon dioxide pushes the grape skins up to the top. You don't want them drying out, getting mold on them or anything. A pretty robust fermentation going, which is great. Temperature should be like in the low 70s now because it's kind of colder now. So this should be a really good fermentation. It's going to take a little longer too because it's a little colder now this time of season. So this is the Petite Sirah. Nice purple color, which is what you'll get from Petite Sirah. So we'll check back on this probably about 10 days before it'll be ready. We'll punch it on the cap like this about 3 times a week. I'm sorry, 3 times a day. It's early in the morning. And then 10 days we'll check in on it and see if we're ready to do the pressing. See you then. We're back. It's been about 17 days since put the Petite Sirah in the fermenter. So today we're going to do our pressing, but we're going to do things a little different than I've pressed in the past, in that we're going to draw the free run juice out of the barrel first and then just put the grapes, the grape skins and stuff themselves into the press to do a pressing. This way it won't splash as much and make as much of a big mess here in the garage and get my wife angry at me because things get all sticky and I have to end up mopping the floor here. So we're going to reduce that mess. And today what we're going to do is we're going to take this tube that I built. It's a PVC pipe with a bunch of holes punched in it with a drill. And then we're going to insert this, and I put this screen over the top to keep the grapes from clogging up the holes. And so we're going to stick this in underneath the cap into where the free run juice is. Now, those of you that don't know what free run juice is, it's basically the juice that comes out of the grapes when they do the crushing originally, as well as juice that comes out as the grapes break down during fermentation. And so it's the wine, it's the liquid part that's in the fermenter. And then we'll just have the solid grapes, the grape skins and stuff, and whole grapes that weren't crushed when we did the crushing thing left to put into the press and press the wine out of that. So hopefully we should be able to get probably 6.5, fill one of these carboys up with free run, maybe even more. Maybe we'll probably even start a second carboy after that. But we should be able to extract a good amount of free run juice from this because the grapes did break down nicely. I did put some enzymes in there, some malolactic EX in there, which helps break down the skins and break down the grapes so they can get as much sugar and juice and tannins and beautiful stuff out of these grapes as possible. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to insert this in under the cap. I'm not going to show you what it looks like, but I'm just going to drop it in and push it below the cap there. And then we'll start the pump and start drawing the free run out. The free run. Now I do have the siphon tube from the pump. It's already been sanitized. This has been sanitized as well. I used some Star San to sanitize it. And we're going to go ahead and put this into the fermenter. All right, it's in. Racking cane is in. I heard a lot of liquid go into it, so we should be good to go here. So what we're going to do, don't mind this. There's a little foam in there. That's from the sanitizer. That's fine. We're not worried about that. And then we're going to connect the pump. We're gonna bring the all-in-one wine pump over here. This creates the vacuum here, so we're gonna stick that into this here. So it creates the vacuum. It'll draw the air out of this carboy and start drawing the free run in. All right, here we go. This should be great. Here it comes. Nice. Slow it down a little bit. Doesn't fill up too fast. Don't want it overflowing. They have this pressure relief valve here too that can control, stop it when it gets too high. This is 7.5 gallons, or 6.5 gallons. Slow it down a little bit. We fill it up, keep the head space low on it. Right there. So then what we're gonna do is turn the pump off. We're gonna move it over to this one. Put it into this sanitized carboy. Put the airlock on this and secure that one. And then put that down in there, and then we're going to start the pump back up again. It'll create the vacuum again. And we'll fill up this next carboy. See how we're doing? Still a lot of free run in here. The cap's dropped a lot, which is good. Getting all the juice out. Okay, that's all the free run juice now. So we're looking actually now at about 6.5, and that's probably almost 3 gallons. So about 9.5 gallons of wine that's free run. So we'll go ahead and stop this, and we'll get the press set up, and we'll start scooping grapes into the press and press the grapes. So we'll come back to that. All right, so now we're going to, there we go. Now we're going to crush the grapes that are still left in the barrel after we got a lot of the free run out. There's still some free run left in the barrel, so we'll try to get the rest of the free run out in the free run carboy. And then once we turn on the press, we'll switch out the carboy so we'll have pressed juice in a different carboy. So let's go ahead and get to work. I'm going to move this down a little bit. And we're going to start scooping from here and dumping it into that carboy, into the bladder press. But we're going to move this under here first. So we can catch the free run juice in with the free run. We're going to use a funnel like this here. We're going to put a strainer in there to catch any grape pieces that may be coming out. So we don't want those in the carboy. So excuse me while I scoop here. Yeah, there's still free run juice in here still, so we'll sanitize this really well here. Some Star San. All right, now we'll start scooping up some of the grapes. We'll get some of the free run juice too here. It's soaking out. We want to pour it carefully so not to splatter everywhere. It will splatter. There we go. There's some of the free run juice that's still coming out. All right, so I'll come back after we get all the free run done and we turn on the press so you guys can see the press. All right, so we got free run. We got actually 13 gallons of free run out of it. So now we're going to start the pressing. So I've got it loaded up with all the grape stuff there. Let's see if we could show you this a little better there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the hose. This is a hydraulic press. So the hose will fill the bladder up with water and to get it squeezed. I know I'm a little dark here, you can tell from the picture, but and we'll press the grapes and get the juice out of them. Here we go. All right, it'll start coming out pretty quick here. As the bladder fills up with water. All right, so we're gonna let this run for a while. It'll squeeze all the juice out, and we'll show you how much pressed juice we get out of it when we're done. See you then. All right, so it's been a fun day today. We did our pressing, and we've got two full bottles of free run that came out of it, and we ended up getting one bottle from the pressed grapes. So that's 6.5 gallons of pressed and 13 gallons of free run. And then I've got another 1.5 gallons up there that I put in small bottles that I use for topping these off when we do transfers, when we rack them. So the next step for these particular wines will be to let them sit until we get the gross lees dropping out of them. So it'll probably be about 3 days. And then we'll rack these into clean carboys like this here. And then we'll add malolactic culture to it, bacteria. So it does a malolactic fermentation. And then that'll take probably about 4 weeks. And then after that, we rack off those. We add potassium metabisulfate, which is a preservative. It kind of keeps them from getting oxidized, but also keeps any bacteria or something from infecting it and causing problems. We want to keep them topped up pretty high to keep the oxygen out of it so it doesn't get oxidized. And then we have these pressure locks here which don't let air in, and these sit firm in here, and you can see the bubbles in it. When the gas is off, carbon dioxide, these will bubble, but it won't let air back in, so it keeps them pretty much airtight. And we'll keep those on for the whole entire time, each time we transfer them as well. And then what we'll do is we'll throw, when we do malolactic, we'll throw some wood in there too and do some wood aging with them. And these will probably age for about a year before we're ready to bottle. And then it'll go to bottle, and then we'll be able to give them out to friends and family. This should produce about 30 bottles per carboy. So we're looking at 90 bottles here of top quality wine from grapes, just like you buy from a winery. All right, we'll do an update later on this batch, but this will conclude this particular lesson on making beautiful wine from frozen grape must buckets. These particular buckets came from baywinebroker's.com. This is this year's harvest, but you can also get wine from their previous harvests and stuff. They come in frozen buckets. They ship them to you. Good quality. I've been really happy with the quality. Their customer service has been great. When I had gotten a bucket that had issues where it leaked or whatever, they replaced the bucket for me for free. So I've been really happy with them, and I recommend them if you're looking to make wine from home and want to use frozen must buckets. The pricing is very reasonable as well. For this year's harvest, it's $1 a pound plus shipping, and it's 50 pounds per bucket. So if I want 4 buckets, I buy 200 pounds. On the previous years, they run about $120 a bucket, including shipping. So that's all a good price, and it makes top quality wine. So we'll see you when we check back in on these, probably in a few months. We'll do an update for a part 2 on this. Bye.